Public financing for the St. Louis MLS Stadium. Oh, that's a word you like to hear first thing in the morning, isn't it? Public financing. Well, it looks like it's now entirely dead for the MLS to St. Louis initiative. In 2026, the World Cup will be expanded to 48 teams, and with the next two scheduled to be played in Russia and Qatar, that's still not the worst thing about the World Cup. And if you thought that Leo Messi is so small that no one would notice if he got split in half, you'd be wrong. It's Wednesday, January 11th, 2017. From the Total Soccer Show, Dirty Tackle, and Howler magazine, this is The Goalmouth. I'm George Qureshi. I have reported several times on the plan to bring MLS to St. Louis. First, the governor-elect ruled out a plan to give the investors state tax incentives worth $40 million, saying he opposes welfare for millionaires. Hey, me too. But that still left an $80 million city ballot initiative that would have been a pretty nice down payment on a stadium that is budgeted for $200 million. Well, that is now off the table as well. The initiative sponsor, Alderman Christine Ingracia, has withdrawn her support, saying, quote, "It looked to me, and in the conversations I had with people who have more expertise in the field of public financing, that they were basically just repackaging the same subsidies in different ways. So they were asking for way more than I feel like we could support here in the city." Yeah. Until you have wiped out crime and potholes and crappy schools, $1 for professional sports is more than a city should be asked to pay. Trust me, I live in Tampa, which paid for Raymond James Stadium. So if you enjoyed the national championship game on Monday night, you're welcome. The World Cup will have 48 teams beginning in 2026. I know Daryl promised you that I would dive into that, but I'm not going to. Instead, I will direct you to yesterday's edition of the Total Soccer Show for Daler. That's a good shipping name, right? Daler. Or should it be Terrell? Anyway, they give their takes on it, and I'll plug tomorrow's Dummy, where I'll be discussing it with David Goldblatt and Bobby Warshaw. And just to round out the plug, I'll be speaking with Soccernomics co-author Stefan Zemansky about the meaning behind all this spending going on in China. Okay, plug over. As for the World Cup expansion, I'm currently vacillating between thinking this is an outrage because one of the things that makes soccer so compelling in all kinds of ways is scarcity, the idea of scarcity. But somehow that page got removed from the OED they keep at FIFA headquarters. And on the other hand, feeling like, oh, what the hey, things will never be as good as when I was a kid anyway, because what is? So why not give the Trinidadians a better chance of making it back to the World Cup? They're nice people. Of course, this does pave the way for a reformer to sweep to power at the next FIFA election on the promise that they'll make the World Cup great again. Yeah, right. We'll be looking at Infantino's Mr. Bean face forever. That's a fact. So in today's newsletter, I'm linking to David Kahn's piece for The Guardian, in which he reminds us that, as he puts it, the World Cup has played its way into being football's greatest history-making spectacle, but the number of teams in it has always been a crucible of politics. Hours after Cristiano Ronaldo was officially confirmed as the best TM, a statue of Lionel Messi in Buenos Aires was, how to put this, cut in half at the waist. Basically, all that's left is a pair of legs and a soccer ball. I don't even understand what tools you would use to do this or why. Like, are these just bored bike thieves? International art smugglers? Is it Cristiano's idea of a practical joke? The statue is one of several in the area commemorating Argentine athletes like Manu Ginobili and Gabriela Sabatini. By the way, her tennis racket was also chopped off and stolen, which I think might rule out the Cristiano practical joke theory. And finally, Paul Merson is irked that Hull City has hired Marco Silva, a foreigner, as the new manager, despite the fact that he has won the league with Olympiacos, the Greek league, that is. The Sky Sports pundit was on Talk Sport. I don't know what any of these words mean, by the way, when he said, quote, "He's won the league at Olympiacos. I could have won the league at Olympiacos." Okay, that part is true. He also said, quote, "I'm not having it. You can give me stick on that. There's enough British managers out there. Come on. Off the top of my head, why not Thierry Henry?" My name is George Qureshi. Taylor Rockwell will be with you tomorrow morning. Please go and leave a review. I haven't checked. We might have been up to 100 by now, but Daryl's last wish, his only wish for yesterday's Goalmouth was to get over 100 reviews. So please, even if you gotta mash the keys, just go leave us a review and a 5-star rating. And I leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. According to Wikipedia, the number 48 in Chinese numerology means determined to prosper, or simply prosperity, which is good for business. Yeah, I'll bet it is.